you doing, Virgo? Welcome to your January 2025 horoscope. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this astrological forecast. Alright, Virgos, let's break this down in a way that makes sense for your super analytical minds. Starting January 11, 2025, the North Node moves into Pisces, your 7th house of relationships, while the South Node shifts into Virgo, your 1st house of identity. Translation: the universe is nudging you to find balance between me and we. It's time to lean into partnerships and let go of habits or self-concepts that no longer serve you. Your perfectionist streak? Yeah, it might need a little loosening up. This vibe sticks around until July 2026, and don't rush, evolution takes time. The start of 2025 is about recalibrating your relationships, upgrading your daily life, and stepping into a more expansive mindset. Don't be afraid to release what's not longer aligned with who you are becoming. There is a major growth ahead. You've got this, Virgo. We're gonna start breaking down the aspects of January 2025, but first, if you like a personal reading, go to davidosorio.co or visit the link in the description of this video. Mars retrograde entering Cancer on January 6, 2025 moves through your 11th house of friendships, networks, and long-term goals. Mars retrograde is like hitting the cosmic brakes. It's time to reassess, revisit, and realign. And with this happening in Cancer, a sign ruled by emotion and intuition, expect some feels along the way. Mars retrograde slows down the usual go-getter energy of Mars, asking you to reflect before taking action. In your 11th house, this brings a focus on your social circles, group dynamics, and the dreams you're working toward. Here is what you might notice. You may start questioning certain friendships or group associations. Are they aligned with your values? Are they giving you as much as you're putting in? Emotional conflicts or misunderstandings could arise, but there are opportunities to reassess and, if needed, set boundaries. The 11th house governs your long-term aspirations, and with Mars in reflective mode, you might feel like progress is stalling. Instead of pushing forward, use this time to refine your vision. Are your goals still aligned with who you are, or do they need adjusting? How to navigate Mars retrograde in Cancer. If certain social ties are draining you, reflect on whether they're worth keeping. Prioritize quality over quantity. Take a step back, reassess, and when Mars goes direct, you'll be ready to move forward with clarity and purpose. Before we continue with this astrological forecast, feel free to leave a comment. Tell me how you're doing, how the energies have been flowing during this time. It's really important to read your feedback, and it's a great way to support this channel. On January 11th, the North Node will move into Pisces. First, we're going to talk about what it means for the collective. The lunar nodes aren't actual planets or stars. They're like imaginary points in the sky where the moon's orbit crosses the sun's path, the ecliptic. They're always moving backward through the zodiac and hang out in each sign for about 18 months. There are two of them, the North Node and the South Node, and they're always directly opposite each other. Think of the North Node as your compass, pointing toward where you're growing and evolving. On the South Node, it's all about your past, where you've been, and the stuff you're learning to let go of. When the North Node moves into Pisces on January 11th and remains there until July 26, 2026, its energy will shift the collective focus toward Piscean themes: spirituality, compassion, creativity, and emotional transcendence. Let's break this down astrologically and explore its potential global meaning. The North Node in Pisces encourages humanity to explore spiritual practices, intuitive development, in connection with the divine. Globally, there may be a surge in interest in mysticism, meditation, and other transcendental practices. People may look beyond materialistic pursuits, seeking emotional and spiritual fulfillment. There could be a rise in spiritual leaders or movements encouraging humanity to focus on love, compassion, and interconnectedness. Collective rituals, ceremonies, and global meditative events could gain popularity. The Pisces-Virgo axis often triggers healing crises before growth. Public health systems, environmental preservation, and mental health could become focal points for reform. This transit could even trigger global-scale diseases, especially because Virgo represents health and the South Node will be hanging there. While the North Node's energy points to growth, its opposite point, the South Node, will simultaneously be in Virgo. This creates a tension between the desire for the spiritual transcendence, Pisces, and over-reliance on practicality or control, Virgo. Some challenges may include an increase in avoidance behaviors as people struggle to cope with the pressure of global issues. Pisces' water influence might highlight concerns over rising sea levels, water pollution, and natural disasters involving water. Unfortunately, the next year and a half also has a lot of potential for flooding and other water-related catastrophes. Confusion or blurred lines in global relationships could arise, such as disputes over resources or refugees. The North Node's transit through Pisces invites us to surrender control, embrace the unknown, and learn how to flow with life rather than resist it. Balance practicality and spirituality. Avoid the extremes of escapism or over-attachment to order, and find harmony between soul and structure. On a more personal level, when the North Node enters Pisces on January 11, 2025, and transits the 7th house for Virgo, it marks a transformative period focused on relationships, partnerships, and emotional connection. This transit invites Virgo to step out of their comfort zone of practicality, independence, and precision, and embrace the Piscean qualities of compassion, surrender, trust, and emotional depth within their one-on-one relationships. The 7th house rules marriage, partnerships, and significant one-on-one relationships. This transit calls Virgo to form or deepen relationships based on emotional connection, spiritual alignment, and conditional love. During this time, relationships that feel fated or karmic may appear. These connections can help Virgo embrace empathy, creativity, and surrender. Relationships during this period aren't about logic or practicality. They're about emotional and spiritual fulfillment. Challenges during this transit. Virgo may struggle with Pisces' fluid and structured energy. The key is to release the need for control and perfection within relationships. Pisces' idealism may cause Virgo to see others through rose-colored glasses. Being open-hearted while staying grounded in reality is essential. Manifestation tips for North Node in Pisces in the 7th house. Focus on manifesting partnerships that align with your higher self. Visualize relationships based on mutual trust, spiritual connection, unconditional love. Trust your intuition when navigating partnerships. Pisces energy favors emotional and spiritual wisdom over analytical thinking. Stop overthinking every interaction or conversation. Learn to flow with the energy of the relationship. How to work with this transit. Recognize that love and connection are about embracing imperfections, learning together. If certain relationships are no longer aligned, trust that this is part of your growth. Make space for new connections. This is your chance to grow, to open your heart, and to experience relationships in a way that feels deeper, more spiritual, and truly transformative. When the South Node enters Virgo on January 11 and remains there until July 26, 2026, its influence will highlight the karmic lessons and patterns humanity needs to release, especially those tied to Virgo's themes of perfectionism, control, service, and practicality. This placement emphasizes moving away from excessive reliance on logic, micromanagement, and rigid structures, while integrating the soulful, intuitive, and empathetic qualities of Pisces, the North Node. Let's explore the global implications of this transit. Virgo's shadow side includes a tendency toward hypercriticism, obsession with details, and striving for impossible standards. Globally, this transit suggests a need to let go of rigid systems, overly bureaucratic processes, and perfection-driven mindsets. This could lead to reevaluating work cultures, healthcare systems, and education that prioritize productivity over well-being. Virgo is the sign of service, but its shadow is overwork and martyrdom. The South Node here may push society to address burnout, especially in service-oriented industries like healthcare, education, and public service. There may be collective discussions about the unsustainable demands placed on workers and the need to value rest and self-care. Focus could shift away from over-medicalization or quick-fix solutions and move toward holistic and preventative approaches, aligning with Pisces' themes of healing and unity. There may be a collective realization that constant productivity isn't sustainable. Remote work, flexible schedules, and alternative economic models may gain traction as people prioritize quality of life over rigid routines. Virgo rules systems of service, so governments and institutions may come under scrutiny for being overly bureaucratic or inefficient. Simplification and more intuitive, compassionate solutions may emerge. Virgo's tendency to overcomplicate might be counterbalanced by Pisces' call for simplicity and flow. Overly detailed systems in governance, finance, or trade could face restructuring, paving the way for more fluid and inclusive alternatives. This transit will challenge humanity to balance the need for practical systems, Virgo, with the need for a spiritual flow and emotional connection, Pisces. The South Node in Virgo is about releasing the shadow of over-perfection and remembering that life is inherently messy, interconnected, and beautifully imperfect. On a more personal level, when the South Node enters Virgo on January 11, 2025, it transits the first house for Virgo. It marks a powerful period of personal release, self-discovery, and transformation. The South Node represents what we're comfortable with, where we may over-rely on habits, and what needs to be released to achieve balance and growth. With this transit, Virgo is called to let go of excessive self-criticism, perfectionism, and over-focus on their identity, appearance, or control over their environment. It's time to shift focus toward the 7th house North Node in Pisces, which encourages surrender, compassion, deeper connections and relationships. Virgo's natural tendency to strive for perfection in how they present themselves, work, and live will be challenged. This transit asks for self-acceptance and releasing the hyper-focus on perceived flaws. The first house governs the self-identity and how we interact with the world. This transit brings a shedding off outdated ways of being like overly rigid routines, perfectionist tendencies, or self-doubt to make space for spiritual growth. Releasing tips for South Node and Virgo. Practice affirming imperfection as beauty. Embrace the idea that life doesn't have to be flawless to be fulfilling. Instead of analyzing every option, practice making decisions based on intuition or simply on what feels right in the moment. Let go of self-judgment and the tendency to hold others to impossible high standards. Focus on compassion and understanding. How to work with this transit. Replace overthinking and self-criticism with a more intuitive and empathetic approach to life and relationships. Let go of grudges against yourself or others. This is a time for deep emotional cleansing. This transit is about stepping into a more freedom-filled version of yourself. A version that embraces imperfection, prioritizes connection, and allows spiritual growth to flow naturally. Let it be a time of release, surrender, and transformation. Thank you so much for your attention. I hope you like this video. If that's the case, please like and subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to click the bell icon and activate all notifications so you don't miss anything. Also check your rising sign, because when combined with your sun sign, it can help you understand better how all of these aspects are going to play out in your personal life. Alright Virgo, thanks for watching and I'll see you later.